Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a reading today for your divine masculine earth sign. So we are going to be tapping into the energies of your divine masculine if he happens to fall under either the sign of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Obviously, just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. If you guys would like your own personalized version of this reading, I will go ahead and put that link down below, as well as all the decks I'll be using here today and these beautiful Organites over here. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we need to know about your earth sign divine masculine. The very first thing that we're going to focus on here is their energy in general. So we're going to break it down into 4 different categories. The 3 decks we're going to use for this, we've got the Earth Sign Vibes by Divine Love Healing. We have the Intuit Tarot cards here, and then we also have my Earth and Sky Oracle. So let's get into this. Let's see what we need to know. Let's take a look and see where this masculine is at in his mental space right now. What is he focusing on? What's going on in his mental realm? Okay, so we have demanding. Interesting. So maybe perhaps really looking at his life in general and just demanding some sort of order and control or even respect, okay? Let's see what's going on in his emotions. Heart energy. Okay, so we have Virgo coming up with the Hermit. The Hermit could be where we're just really going within, like it says, and really craving that solitude. So maybe we're going deeply within our heart space. We're taking some time to reflect. We're acting a little bit like a hermit, maybe with the people that we love. Let's take a look and see what's happening in the physical realm, 3D reality, environment. Okay, so we have Glutton, Taurus energy. Okay, it could be that this masculine is eating too much. Like there's just, a lot of things in front of him and he's just indulging. It doesn't have to be food. It just means that he could be indulging in his physical environment, like really overdoing it. So that's kind of a funny card to me. All right, let's see what's happening on a soul level. And we have uptight Capricorn. So we actually have all the earth signs that have just popped out here. This is the first reading that I did that all 3 have popped out. So we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We have uptight. So obviously we could see these feet, they're chained up. So in his soul's energy, it could be that he feels kind of bound or chained right now, perhaps like to physical circumstances. Maybe there's not a lot of activity going on a deep soul level. Whereas, the Hermit is kind of like a soul searching energy. So it could be there, but maybe there's some things that are difficult to let go of. So let's go ahead and clarify with some more Oracle and Tarot cards, each category. So what about this demanding energy? What's this demanding energy about in his mental space? What is this about? Ooh, we have Praying Mantis. So I love this like little green energy we have over here. So green to me is a couple of things. It means the, the abundance. This is about our earthly possessions. This can also be about the heart chakra. So there's something going on here, but it says Praying Mantis, taking time out, meditation and peace, higher realm energy, life purpose and mission. Interesting. Well, we know that there's a hermit mode here in the heart space, so it could be going deeply within, taking a time out, pulling away from other people. So let's get a tarot card on that. What is this about? Maybe demanding that I need time, I need space, I need time to figure out what I want to do with my life. Getting that? We have the 2 of Cups. Interesting. Unhealthy attachment. Okay. So what I'm seeing for this masculine is that he might be taking a break from, friendships or spending time with other people. Maybe he feels that he is like these connections or these people are demanding too much of his time and he needs space for himself. That's what I'm seeing for earth signs. If this is not resonating, then it might not be a reading this week. But yeah, that's what I'm just seeing here. She's holding a sword, obviously, and she can take that sword and cut people out. And this unhealthy attachment, it says rescuing, caretaking, enabling, clinging, seeking approval, codependency. There could be someone in the masculine's life that is trying to attach themselves to him and he just doesn't want this energy. So he could be taking that sword in a very, very abrupt way and demanding that someone leave him alone, or demanding that he needs time and space to figure out who he is. It could also be that he's attached to a job that is not really serving him, that doesn't make him feel very good about himself. And so that's why we have that life purpose and mission. Is this even really what he wants? Is this even really what he's happy doing? So it is going to take some great mental strength on this masculine's part to demand that he makes this life change, demand that he cuts ties with this codependent, toxic situation or job or whatever, because something isn't lining up with him, and he's thinking about this, and it's really affecting him. So now let's go into the hermit energy. And this might be one of the reasons why he's in hermit mode. He's in this hermit mode because he wants some time for himself. He wants some time to figure out what he wants to do and how he's really feeling. Okay, so we have it with Aquarian energy. So we have earth and air here. So to me, like, that earth energy is very grounded, it's very practical. And then we have the air energy of being very logical and rational. So in his heart space, I feel like there's not a lot of emotion here, but he is going deep within to kind of figure out what he's like feeling or thinking here. It does say open-minded and progressive. It says good listener and conversationalist, but can be aloof and temperamental. Well, I already feel like he's temperamental because of some situation or some person in his life that he just kind of is demanding that they either just leave him alone, or that he wants to just connect with something that's better suited for him. So he already seems to me a little aloof and just a little kind of cranky, like a crab, cranky like the crab, moody like the crab, right? So yeah, interesting. And we have the Page of Swords, which is that logic, big time. So I feel like this masculine right now, it doesn't mean he feels nothing. It just, to me, is showing me that he's really reflecting and thinking big time on what he wants to do with his life. He's trying to be open-minded. Being progressive means like we want to grow, we want to change. So I feel like he wants to change his circumstances. He wants to change either his occupation, his job, what he's doing for a living, his purpose in the world, who he is, what he wants, etc. And he's just really utilizing his mind instead of his heart at this time to basically progress and move forward. So it does say thirst for knowledge. He may want to learn more. He may feel like he's just like, what I'm currently involved in right now, I'm not really feeling it. So he's open to learning more, new ideas, etc. But this does say guarded. So again, it's that aloof nature here, and thinks first instead of feels. So he's really, really in more of his head space than his heart space at this time. And with that Two of Cups reversed, it just might be that overall he's just not really looking for committing or going deep with another person. It's like he wants to go deep within himself first, praying mantis and the hermit, to find himself, to figure out what he actually wants. So I just feel like there's some confusion and he needs some clarity here. All right. So let's see what's going on here for the outer world environment. Now we have glutton. So it's like the gluttony, overindulgence, overdoing it. So maybe living life a little too carelessly right now. Maybe things are out of balance in his physical world. And we have the bull's energy, which is Taurus. Okay. So we have Taurus, two confirmations there for that sign, but we have luxurious and pleasure seeking. So the Taurus is all about, what's my pleasure? My pleasure is food. My pleasure is, this extravagant, living beyond my means, traveling, being completely focusing on myself and no one else, and being in like a total selfish stage. So I just feel like he's very stubborn and uncompromising right now. So it's like it's his way or the highway. And a lot of people might really be rubbed the wrong way by this masculine. It could even be you, feminine, watching this video. And so it makes it feel like this person is really hard to deal with. They're really hard to get anywhere with right now because they're so stubborn and hell-bent on doing things their way and doing what they want to do. And it's like they don't want to hear that they shouldn't be doing these things. So if you've tried to like reason with your masculine, I feel like it might not be, it's like falling on deaf ears. Okay. Yeah, we have the 10 of coins. So he might be spending a lot of time actually with his family, but he might also be like, this is just who I am. This is how I was raised. This is my family unit, or I have to spend time with my family. My family is everything. Hey guys, stop. Sorry, cats are just always doing something. But yeah, there is some kind of like my family is the most important thing to me for some. And it might even make other people feel like they can't even get into that realm with this masculine. They can't even get into this masculine's world because he won't let them in. So being very maybe protective of who he invites into his family, who he introduces to his family, that might be something where the feminine has felt kind of not ostracized, but just kind of like an outsider. I am seeing for some. Okay. Now it might also be too, like 10 of Coins is the ultimate commitment, marriage, maybe having children, family, etc., setting up a domestic life. Very stubborn at this time though with doing that. Kind of like, I'm going to do it my way and I may not be ready. But I just feel too that it could be that some masculines are so busy building their legacy financially, but they're not really building a life. They're not really building a life. Like they're building a house, but there's not going to be anyone to actually play house with when it's finally built. You know what I mean? It's not going to be able to be lived in because all these things that we're building, we're not taking the time to build relationships at the same time. And this masculine might have to learn the hard way that he finally gets to the end and he's retired and he's alone because he has wasted so much time being a stubborn ass bull and only kind of indulging in caring about himself. Very selfish kind of energy here. So that might be really hard for the feminine to witness and watch. And maybe even some of you feminines are holding out for like, in the end it will be us, but there's no guarantee that this masculine's actually going to be able to change because it looks like he's pretty stubborn right now. He could learn, of course, but right now it looks to me like he's in a selfish phase and he might be blaming a lot on his family or his past. I'm getting for some of you guys. It might be like, maybe I'm also getting this too. Some of these masculines may have been very spoiled, and so now they're very entitled, maybe almost a little on the narcissistic side, kind of thinking that they it's just about them. That's for some, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and go into the energy here of the soul. So the soul's energy is kind of tied right now. We have Capricorn's energy. Capricorn is connected to the tarot card Devil, and we might be shackled or chained to things that are of an indulgent nature, basically, or addictions, being addicted to like codependent behavior. And we obviously just saw that earlier. Some masculines could have a partner right now, so it's like a partner other than the feminine, and that could also be like this resistance to change, or I'm sorry, but I have to stay with my family because of financial reasons. Lots of excuses being given to the feminine. And actually that's one thing I didn't even mention here in this. There could be something where you're dealing with a masculine who's in a third party situation. They're married with kids or they're with another person that they don't really love. And they've explained this to you and you know it, but yet they still continue to stay. And that's really hard. So that brings us to this chained, uptight energy. It puts a lot of uptight energy in this connection because people aren't willing to change their circumstances. We have the cougar. Wow. Okay, so I just have to put this out here, you guys. It could be that they're with someone who's older. Cougars are usually older women. And so this masculine could be with an older a woman who is taking care of him, that is financially supporting him and taking care of his needs. He does not really actually love this woman, so that is kind of narcissistic. It is. And this woman right now might be providing this home or roof over his head. Just saying. And he's being kind of a stubborn bull about it. Like, I don't really love this woman, but I'm not going to leave her either. So some of you feminines could be going through like this feeling that, this hypocrisy or just this like double standard. Like, you say one thing, but then you do another. So I feel like on a soul level, this masculine does have to take charge. He has to empower himself and to break these chains. He's codependently perhaps relying on another person that he doesn't really truly love, but he's doing it in order to survive. So that Two of Cups in the beginning could be something that he's focusing on. I'm with someone that I don't even really like, but yet they do all these things for me, so I'll stay. Yeah, so if this reading isn't resonating with you guys this week, just skip it, okay? Or you can always watch one of the other readings for like your masculine's rising sign or even moon or Venus sign. That works too. Ooh, here we go. Ace of Coins. Time for reflection. Yes. Okay. For sure. Ace of Cups. Did I say Ace of Coins? I meant Ace of Cups. Time for reflection. Holding back, repression, tuning into your intuition, taking care of yourself, self-love. So self-empowerment and self-love. The only way out of this situation for the masculine is for him to start loving himself. And he is not loving himself as long as he is using other people. It's just not happening. Now, this could also be maybe he's not using someone. Maybe he's just in a situation where he is tied to his addictions, whether that's a person, a substance, or just a way of living. And so until he starts to act with more self-respect towards himself and self-care and self-love, he's not going to be empowered enough to be able to break ties with these toxic patterns. So some kind of soul lesson is popping up for him, and Spirit is actually offering him this the Ace of Cups, not in this card, but in the Rider-Waite Tarot, it shows a cup coming from the sky, and that's always an offering from our like the divine. It's an offering from your higher power, giving you an opportunity to see something, giving you an opportunity to reflect on what you're doing and the way that you're living your life. Do you really want to change? Do you want to be happy? And masculine can say, yes, I want to be happy, but I don't want to do the work to be happy, so I'll just stay. I'll just give up. I'll just keep indulging. I'll just keep living a gluttonous life. So that's what's going on this week for this particular set of earth signs. Take it or leave it. So now we're going to go into the divine masculine's energy towards this feminine. So it doesn't really matter what stage he is in his life. This is just how he's feeling deep down inside towards this feminine. So we're going to use a couple of different decks here. This one is from Moon Moth Goddess. It's called the Dark Romance Oracle. This particular tarot card deck is called the Hidden Truth Tarot. And we're going to use my Twin Flame Journey Messages 1 and 2. Okay? Let's do it. What do we got? Let's see what's happening in the masculine's mental space when he thinks about this feminine. What is he seeing? What is he looking at? How is he kind of analyzing their situation? What's coming up for him? Ooh, we have Energy Vampire. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So let's go ahead and get some more messages to see what this might be about. We have the Ace of Swords. Interesting. All right. Okay. Something about making choices that maybe aren't the greatest. Okay, here we go. So there may have been something that has happened here with your masculine, okay? There could be no contact now just because that Ace of Swords is reversed. So sometimes that can mean that like communication is either scarce, spotty, or no communication. So because of this, if I knew what I know now, I would have made different choices, and I just got caught up in the moment. To me, this masculine was in a gluttonous phase, as in he was overindulging in his environment. And because of this overindulgence, because of this very maybe self-centered way of living and being, this actually created some sort of issue between the masculine and the feminine. He may have cut off contact, or you may have cut off contact with him, feminine. But right now, what he's seeing you as is he's seeing you as an energy vampire. Now, what I want to say about that is that he's seeing you as this because he may not want to have to explain himself. So he sees you perhaps as someone like is a thorn in his side. You're a reminder of things that he doesn't really want to cop up to, that he doesn't really want to have these conversations. So he might just kind of shut you out, block you out, etc., because he doesn't really want to have to deal with the truth of the situation. And So I just feel like the earth signs this week for masculines are coming through as just very, very troubled. And I do like that we did have the Hermit and the Praying Mantis come up, because this tells me that there's an opportunity for this masculine to really look at the error of his ways and really make some changes and clean up his act, because I just feel that he might be blaming other people for his problems, or he might be seeing the feminine as a drain in his life because she reminds him of who he truly is meant to be, the better version of himself. And if he doesn't want to be this better version of himself, he's going to see her as a problem in his life. So I'm getting that for some of you guys. Just take it if it resonates. So it's like he's screwed up, but yet somehow he's created you to be the issue for him. Okay. So that's definitely called what? Projection or transference of energy. It's not fair when that happens, but sometimes it does, because people don't know how to deal with themselves. They don't have the tools in order to create change. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's going on in the emotions here. Okay, we have fear. So of course, I mean, whatever's happening here is happening because this masculine is in a state of fear, you know. Ego is fear. When people are just going around surviving and taking whatever they want and not really thinking about it, it's coming from a place of fear. Okay, so now we have the Six of Pentacles, and it is coming up reversed. The Six of Pentacles is a beautiful exchange of give and take. It's a very reciprocal energy. It's very balanced, and it's coming up reversed because it's not balanced. This masculine is not balanced right now in his heart space, which is why he's coming through as fear. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some words here. Okay, so your beauty does still move me. So masculine doesn't not think. I mean, the masculine still thinks, despite all this stuff, he knows the feminine is beautiful. He knows that her soul is beautiful. He knows that this fear actually is really coming from himself. So some of you guys, even though he's like kind of looking at you and saying, you know, you're the problem, or I don't need to change, or you just want too much from me, you're a drain in my life. At the end of the day, the masculine knows that's not true. He knows it's not true. He knows that you and who you are actually move him towards being more fearless and being more of a healthy divine masculine. But see, he is not willing to be in this energy with you right now because he's in so much fear. So his personal stuff, you guys, is not about you. It's about him. I feel too much pressure right now. So that's obviously what we know. We know that he's feeling a lot of pressure, and we know that he might be projecting or trying to transfer his crap onto you. Unfortunately, when people don't know how to deal with their feelings, that's what they do. So that's what I'm getting here. A little bit of more of a challenging reading this time for feminines. So let's see what's going on in the physical world, physical reality, what he's thinking and feeling. Okay, so yeah, there could be that in this physical reality, he ghosted you or you ghosted him, feminine. There's a ghosting energy here that happened. And even if there wasn't just like an abrupt, it's like maybe that's just how it kind of has, you know, transpired with time. You guys aren't really talking anymore. Or it's like kind of just when you are moving on with your life, he just reappears like a ghost from the past out of nowhere. Could even be you haven't talked to this masculine in a long time, and then suddenly he comes up in a dream for you. Suddenly he pops up out of nowhere. You're hearing his name everywhere. You're hearing all these songs or signs from spirit that remind you of your masculine. I'm seeing here that could probably be what's going on in his world. Like you're popping up in his world, even if you guys are not actually speaking or seeing each other. Okay? I was like, you can run, but you can't hide. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so we have 10 of Cups. Wow, okay. And what this does is it brings up a lot of joyous memories, kind of like what you guys could have had together. I feel like this energy from the masculine, like I really freaking blew it. I really blew it. Like we could have been married or had children by now, but I freaking blew it with my stupid ass behavior. I'm sorry. That's just what I'm getting, you guys. That's it. And it's sad because perhaps there's just so much potential between you and him. And unfortunately, it's like someone keeps screwing it up. So it's kind of like the reality right now for this masculine is that he doesn't have this 10 of Cups. He doesn't have it, or he just doesn't have it with you. So I'm more affected than you know. And he's actually really affected by this reality. This reality totally blows. It totally sucks. And I'm not trying to we're going to blame masculine for everything. But at the end of the day, our choices or when we don't take action to fix things, we make those beds, we have to lie in it. And I just feel like this masculine is definitely lying in this pool of just being either upset or bitter. Maybe trying to come up with reasons how it could be your fault. I'm just doing what I have to do right now. Now, we do know that he's in survival mode. He's just kind of waking up and just surviving. So I don't feel like this masculine is actually happy. Even though it might look like he's happy, deep down he is not happy. Okay, because he's more affected than you know. And even if he is in another relationship, I'm getting he's not happy in that relationship. He's just doing what he has to do to survive. Wow, this is deep. So now we're going to go in the soul energy here. What is the soul energy of this masculine? Let's see. Towards this feminine. Okay, so we do have movement. So maybe in his soul, maybe he knows something. Maybe he knows he needs to make a move. Maybe he knows that he needs to create change. Okay, and I'm going to bring this back here because this reminds me of this card here. So let me just grab it real quick. Your booty. I don't know why I said that. Your booty, divine feminine, might move this masculine. That's for damn sure. But it says your beauty still moves me. So your beauty, your essence, your strength, your confidence, your healing, growth, ascension, empowerment, all of it moves this masculine. So when you do well, it's almost like your masculine is doing well. So feminine, in a way, you are like the way shower for this masculine. So definitely continue on your journey, continue moving forward, continue bettering yourself, empowering yourself, rising. It doesn't mean that this will make the masculine do anything, but it certainly inspires your masculine to want to grasp for more and to want to make a better life for himself. You inspire him is what I'm getting here on a soul level. Your beauty moves his soul. That's what I'm seeing. And so we have the Seven of Wands. Even though he might not have the strength right now to get into that carriage and actually make moves right now, this right here is kind of giving up. Seven of Wands means I'm not fighting for it. I don't really have the courage and the strength to make a move or to do what I should do. So I'm just going to kind of stay here, and I'm not really going to, I'm going to park, actually. We're just going to go on the side of the road and we're going to take a little bit of a break. That's just what I'm seeing with that. But your beauty, divine feminine, will always move him to make choices that are more aligned with who he truly is. And if he's not ready to do that, that might be one of the reasons why he's kind of projecting things onto you. Okay, so we do have, maybe we're just too different. So when his fear gets a hold of him, this is what happens to him on a soul level. He really reflects and says, maybe we're just too different. Maybe this is just something that I can't do. Maybe this is something that I just can't make happen, or maybe it's just not meant for me. So he has a lot of doubts because of his own fear and his lack of motivation to want to make the necessary changes to be with you. So you could be the type of divine feminine that you have a lot of high standards, and you've worked really hard in your life and you have achieved great things. This may really cause this masculine to feel like he is not good enough. And that's not your fault, divine feminine. That's just where this masculine is at. See? Haunted. Remember the ghost? I'm still haunted by my actions. Wish I would have made different choices, right? I just got caught up in the moment. Yeah. So on a soul level, this masculine will continue to be haunted by what he has not done. This will always knot him, divine feminine. And you were designed in order for him to remember what he could have, because it does help him to reach for the stars. It helps him to be a better person. You inspire this masculine to be a better person just like he does for you too. It's a two-way street. But right now, what I'm seeing for these particular sets of masculines, they're stubborn as a bull and they don't want to make a move. Okay? And they might be wasting a lot of time pointing fingers instead of really taking the time to make necessary changes. Very aggravating for, I'm sure, you feminines out there dealing with this. Okay, let's see what the biggest hangups and blockages are. I mean, if we didn't already see enough, well, let's take it to the next level. So we're going to go into a couple of card decks of my own. We've got the Dark Night of the Soul Tarot, connecting it with the Twin Flame Journey Shadows that I've created. This is actually a fan-made deck, so it's not really for sale, but I still wanted to use it today because I just was feeling it. Okay. All right. So what are the biggest hang-ups and blockages in this connection currently? Okay, so we have elusive. So somebody's elusive behavior, maybe not wanting to be seen, maybe not wanting to, have a conversation, kind of deliberately hiding. We have poltergeist, technology break. Wow. Okay, so I am seeing that. Okay, I'm just going to say this, and if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, no worries. One thing that's blocking this connection is that people are trying to figure out what people are doing or what they're thinking from social media. And I talked about this yesterday in, I think it was fire sign readings. There was a message about people that were using social media as a source to gain information. And, it's just my belief. Anybody can be anything on social media. You're not going to get an accurate description. If anything, what's going to happen is you're going to go down deep into a rabbit hole and you're going to start making up all kinds of things that aren't even true because of things that you think that you see. Your mind can play tricks on you and create all kinds of narratives and stories that just aren't true. Or we start to make assumptions and then we get confused because we're not sure if that's what's really going on. Sometimes we're just not meant to know. And I feel that when people are doing that, they're trying to control the situation instead of relying on their higher self and their higher power to guide the way. So Spirit is actually saying here, we need to take a break from stalking someone's social media if that's happening. We need to take a break from relying on social media as a form of communication. Because I feel like what a lot of people do too is they create stories about if someone changes their profile picture or if somebody posts a song or if someone does this or someone does that. All it does is it just jams up the frequencies with a bunch of confusion and a bunch of assumed things that may or may not be true. So if you guys are following this masculine on social media, have fake accounts, etc., whatever, I'm getting here that Spirit is saying it's time for you to pull back from that because that is creating a blockage here. It's creating unnecessary energy that doesn't belong here. And this masculine may be stalking you on social media and you can't really control that feminine, but you can control yourself. So that's what I'm seeing here. This masculine is being very elusive, or maybe you're being kind of elusive with what you're posting because you're kind of trying to create a little bit of a bait. If he is watching me, then I'm going to post this. It's just a big game at the end of the day, and it just doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong here. So that is what is coming through here with this. Because we have poltergeist. It just haunts you. It's just constantly like haunting you. And also what I'm seeing too with the haunt, it's a ghost. In Poltergeist, the movie, there was, ghost. So if someone doesn't want to be in your life right now, then it's about respecting that and giving them space and also giving yourself time to participate with your present. But you can't really do that if you're constantly having this relationship with a ghost, someone that's gone or someone that doesn't want to speak to you right now, and vice versa for the masculine. Okay. So the best thing for us to do is to pull out of that energy because it's not really serving, especially the feminine, in a positive and empowering way. Yeah, we have Stranded Island, 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups means someone has left. We have left a situation. So this is another thing. I left this masculine because he's really toxic and it's not working. But yet I'm going to stalk him on social media several times a day. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Okay? And so that is what I am here to do, is to bring somebody this very tough love message to say, knock it off, because it doesn't make sense. And it's an energy that just is so codependent and so toxic. It's going to do is bring you down and lower your vibration. If somebody else wants to do that, then that's up to them. That's their prerogative, but make it your prerogative not to do this anymore, because this is the biggest hang up and blockage in this connection for earth signs right now. That's what I'm saying. We have scorned. So there could be some feelings of being betrayed or hurt. And we have Cerberus, turn back now. Okay. So scorned, being upset. They're also, so I'm just going to say this real quick, and then I'm going to get off the whole social media kick, because I'm sure someone out there is like, okay, enough already. But this is about us being upset by something that we see. And when you're upset by something that you see, or some sort of story that you're creating, okay, and then you get so pissed off and so upset that you start like going crazy and start messaging people, messaging exes, messaging people that are connected to, your person. And it's crazy making. Turn back now. It's a warning. So the warning is, don't even go down that rabbit hole to begin with, and you won't even be in this energy, right? So now let's just shift gears. This just tells me here, like, this is just going down the rabbit hole of rage. Now, we do have to feel things in order to heal them. This is a part of our shadow work. We can't just do a spiritual bypass and just act like we don't feel rage or act like we don't feel dark when we do. We do have to honor it, but we definitely need to make sure, are we going down this rabbit hole and we're just keep going and going and going, or are we doing anything to help us to maybe transmute that energy to kind of like, okay, how can we work with this energy in a productive, positive way? How can I take my power back with this rage that I feel, right? And I'm also getting too that if you are being contacted by your masculine, this might be not to respond immediately, or maybe at all for some of you guys. We don't always have to respond to people that are reaching out to us. Sometimes it's okay to take a moment before responding, especially if there's a lot of emotions here. So maybe don't have conversations when we're feeling this way. So we do have the Imp of Decay, which is fruitless. It's fruitless behavior, basically. It's the Page of Pentacles. So this is not going to be the best form of communication. Social media, making assumptions on social media, or even like little text where they're just kind of passive aggressive, or we're not really being honest with how we feel. It actually creates more anger and rage in us when we can't be truthful with people. I can't tell you how many times in my life where I have just been dying inside because I can't be myself with someone. And what I've finally realized in my old age now is that those situations, I'll never be a part of those kinds of connections ever again. If I can't be myself, and when I say be myself, obviously, I'm not talking about like, oh, I just feel like being a ranting, raging bitch and you've just got to accept it because that's who I am. I'm not talking like that, but I'm just saying, like, if you can't just be honest with someone or like have a conversation and, you're going to be accused of this or that because they can't handle it. It's a fruitless situation. Just forget about it. It's never going to work. So this to me tells us that if there is some kind of like pleasantry crap, because I can't stand that either, where you're having conversations with someone and there's obviously so much there, but no one's saying it, no one's talking about the elephant in the room, right? So this is like this conversation between your masculine and you, feminine. And I'm talking to you because I'm assuming like most of my audience are feminine, so I'm doing this from your perspective. If your masculine is texting you and it's totally like casual pleasantry, and you're just like, wow, like I feel so much. He knows how much agony I'm in over our separation, but yet he just kind of like sends you a song here or there, or he's just like, I just want to see how you're doing. It's just real casual surface level stuff. and that is just freaking killing you, don't take the bait, is what I'm saying here, because it's fruitless for you. You've got to think about yourself. You don't have to respond or engage with someone just because they feel like they're totally fine having a surface level situation or relationship, and you're not. You do not have to be a part of it. So Spirit is basically saying, feminines, that if what your masculine is handing you, if you guys are in communication here and there, is very fruitless and meaning, like it's just the elephant in the room that we're not talking about, you might be better off just disengaging completely until this masculine actually wants to be real and to own up to something and to have some deep conversations. That's just what I'm seeing. You deserve more, because if you just kind of keep going for it, you're not really fulfilling your needs, and it's a lopsided situation, Six of Pentacles, reverse energy, and it's just going to piss you off even more and create more shadow for you. So you deserve to take back your power now in the situation and either demand more, or just, we can demand things, you guys, with no communication. Like, people get the hint. People get the hint. When you just stop talking to them, sometimes you don't even need to say anything. That's the hint right there. You want to come to me correct, you want to say something of value here, then I might engage with you. Then I might pick up that phone, or I might return that text. But if you just got nothing but the same old crap, I'm over it. So there's that. So now we're going to go into, what is this masculine assuming about this feminine? So remember, lots of assumptions can be made. Well, let's see what this masculine is assuming about this feminine. So we got a couple of decks here today. We've got the Spiritual Gifts deck, and I don't have any idea how to pronounce this lady's shop, so I'm not even going to bother, but it starts with an M. And I'll put the information down below so you guys could find her decks. And her name isn't on there, so that's also hard too. When Spirit Speaks, this one's from Medium on a Mission. And then we're going to put it with the Rohrig tarot cards. What is this masculine assuming about feminine right now? What is the assumptions that he is making about this feminine right now? Okay, so we have Breathe, Air sign, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, so he is making some sort of mental assumption here. What I'm also getting is that he's assuming that she is just taking a breather perhaps from him, or needs space from him. And we have Warrior. You have a warrior spirit, not afraid to face conflict and challenges, while at the same time remain committed to a path of growth. Goodwill and fairness. Okay. So he might be assuming that the feminine is in this warrior stance against him and just needs time out from him. So he might be purposely staying away from her because he kind of feels her energy might be very much like, I'm not going to put up with it. And I think that sometimes Spirit uses me and my own experiences, and I get kind of heated in the reading because it's conveying a message to how other people might feel in this situation. Some of you feminines might have just had it with this masculine, and you're not going to deal with him, or you're not going to take his phone calls, or you're just not going to move forward with this until he brings something of value, because maybe you guys have gone back and forth too many times. So now you're very hardened. You're like the Queen of Swords. It's just like, enough is enough. So he might know that he has reached his limit with you. He might know not to even bother to make contact unless he's ready to like bring it. You know, 10 of Pentacles all the way. Yep, look at that, 6 of Discs, which is the 6 of Pentacles. And that is beautiful. It's upright. It's two people on the same page, ready to go. So yes, he is very, very aware that he does need to make some sort of positive move, and it actually has to be more of an action move than just words, because he may have said a lot of words before and didn't follow through or fell short, and didn't bring, you know, the meat to the table, basically. So he knows that the 6 of Discs, Pentacles, this is actual physical, making moves, showing you, and he knows that that's what it's going to take. So he assumes that this feminine is in a warrior, serious position that needs to take some time and space, and that he shouldn't really even bother to try or come back until he actually means it. That's what I'm seeing today. Wow, look at that. Earth sign, stable. So it's funny because the masculine early on, when I was looking at all of his energy, was very much in the air and earth energy, right? Not a lot of heart space energy, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a heart. It just means like he's used to rationalizing things and analyzing things and making more practical choices in life. So we have Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, earth sign, stable energy. Yes, he already knows that he needs to come with this very stable energy, or come correct or don't come at all, I'm getting. And we have clairvoyance. Interesting. So we have you possess clear vision, perceiving with the mind's eyes, inner vision, or extended visual capacity that can include images from the past, present, and future. Okay, so I really like that past, present, future. He knows this feminine's very sharp and she's not going to forget. He knows that she basically is taking everything into consideration. She's looking at the past. She's looking at what's going on right now, and she's also looking at the future and what's possible. So a very smart, stable, grounded, divine feminine is what he is assuming that she is, because that's who she is. And again, unless he is stable enough to meet her on her own terms, then I just feel like that's what a lot of this drawback is. Five of Pentacles. And he does worry. He does worry that he's not going to be able to bring it. He is worried that he's going to be destitute. He's not going to have the money. He's not going to have the retirement. He's not going to have the money that he needs in order to build the life that maybe he wants to build. He also worries too with the Five of Pentacles that this door is closed. So that might be one of the reasons, if he's not trying, why he's not trying. So not only is it because, he's very indulged in his own stuff, kind of like, just trying to soul search, I guess, and figure things out, but he's also might feel like he's completely blown it with this feminine. So why try? Just take that if it resonates. And we have soul connection, love. So he definitely sees this feminine here as someone that he has connected with and has felt love with. So he assumes perhaps that the feminine does still feel the same about him. Interesting. We have past lives. It says regal, seductive, and just a bit dangerous with Cleopatra energy. So strong you intimidate your prey. A very strong connection to Egypt. Interesting. So she's like... He sees the feminine like Cleopatra, as in she's a queen. Okay. She also, the way he assumes that she, just how she feels or what she's up to or who she is, he assumes that the feminine sees him as someone of significance. And it might be because she's told him that. It might be that she's actually spoken of their soul connection. They may have had conversations, you guys, about, just feeling connected. And so he assumes that she still feels this, even though she is very serious about what she wants and what she's going to deal with and what she's not going to deal with. So she can be very spiritual and empathic, but still hold very healthy boundaries. And we have the Lovers. So all in all, this masculine actually believes that the feminine and him are like these lovers, these soul connected lovers that have shared a past life. He also assumes that she feels the same. So she can act a certain way all she wants to, and he can act a certain way all he wants to, but both of you guys know that you guys are this for each other. So that's why a lot of the games have to just be squashed. That's why a lot of this back and forth, just assuming everything, all this wasted time and energy just has to stop. It has to stop on both ends. It's not just the masculine, it's the feminine too. People need to start making choices with their hearts, and we're not making a choice with our heart when we're stalking someone's social media. We're not making a choice with our heart. We're not making a choice with our heart when we're talking trash about our counterpart. So those things have to stop. And we have past lives, meaning you guys have done this many times, and you may have to come back again, even though you might not want to. You might have to come back again to get this right. So this might be one of these things where it's just like, let's try to put our best foot forward here. And we don't have to do it together, but I have to do it on my end. Okay. So the feminine, I feel, because you're coming up here as this queen, you have to make the choice in your heart to love this masculine no matter what. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that you're putting your life on hold, and that you're just accepting his abuse if there's abuse, or, his toxic behavior. That's not what I mean. But from afar, you just love this masculine. You're sending him all your best, but you're just focusing on yourself and you're doing you. You're holding space, but you're not putting your life on hold. There's a difference. So if you're struggling right now with getting to this point with your masculine, that's why he was designed for you, is because it's a challenge. It's a challenge to love someone like this. It's a challenge to deal with someone like this. I can feel it. It's very frustrating. I'm frustrated even tapping into this connection. So let's take a look and see what is the current vibe and frequency of this connection. So we're going to go into 3 decks for this. We've got the Messages of Love by All Things Intuitive, my twin flame angel numbers, and this is called the Tinseltown Tarot. So let's see what the current vibe and frequency is of this connection. Okay, so we have people that are on different pages at this time. You don't share the same vision right now. And that obviously is the 6 of Pentacles reversed. So until you do, it's like there's no point in trying to make this connection work. There's no point in continuously stalking or reaching out to someone. It's time to pull back. Your intuition is divinely guiding you, so trust all that you're being shown at this time. So your intuition knows, feminine, that you and this masculine right now just might not be on the same page, and that things are just the way that they are, and that he's got a lot of growing to do. And I feel like you're going to just kind of get to a point where you feel peace with that, and you just, do your thing, and you just let it go for now. And that's okay. We have the 7 of Cups. You got other choices. That's the one thing that I want to say here. And maybe not everybody can agree with this, and that's okay. We don't need to agree on this. But I've always, ever since I came onto the twin flame journey on 2017, I've always believed that other choices around you, especially when you and your counterpart are not on the same page, that there are other forms or other relationships that are available to you for you to participate in for your own ascension. You're not using other people to pass the time. It's not like that. But you're opening yourself up to the opportunities to experience love, whether it's with friends, maybe other lovers, different lovers, because all of these people around you are there to help you evolve in this life. So if you're just sitting around waiting for your masculine to help you to evolve, that might be one of the reasons why you're going to have to come back lifetime after lifetime, because you're only focusing on one thing. There are other things that you can open yourself up to. And Spirit is basically saying you have choices, feminine. So where you're at right now is that, we all have choices. And this goes for the masculine too. The masculine right now might have a lot of people around him. He might have a lot of choices, a lot of things that he's trying to narrow down. But it's kind of like you don't really know what you want until you try a bunch of stuff that you don't want. So that's a message there. What else? Okay, so we have stability. It says this relationship can stand the test of time. So, time is eternal. It doesn't have to be in this life at the time here. So it says step into your senses as a way of communicating with your twin flame on an intimate level. So this could be that no matter what happens, you guys are always remaining connected to one another here, is what I'm seeing here. No matter how unstable the connection becomes, no matter how long the distance or the back and forth, you guys are still remaining connected in your senses, and that's how you guys communicate with one another. So make sure that this energy is very loving and very empowering and very gentle, because that's how you guys are really truly communicating and connecting to your higher selves, or connecting with each other's higher selves. So make that a beautiful experience is what I'm seeing. So if you haven't had the best experience in the 3D world, make this 5D experience really, really beautiful. And now we have the world. Yeah, because we have this, a lot of cycles I feel at hand for you guys. There could be karmic patterns, karmic cycles, karmic relationships. And those are still trying to complete right now, okay? And there's also unfinished business with your masculine as well. And so when things are meant to conclude, they certainly will. So that's another message to have faith in this process. Okay, let's get out of the way a little bit and let spirit and life and the universe do its thing. And we have time apart. Yeah, so there is this distance, or there's this separation right now, or perhaps, will be a theme in your connection, because there is evolution that's taking place, and it just might be elsewhere, and it's when you guys are in this separation. So just try to accept it. Yeah, see, we have karmic cycles. This is what I just talked about. Karmic cycles are now coming to a close. Allow all parties to absorb the necessary lessons for growth. So many times we want to stay... We want to try to kind of stay in the know of what's going on with karmic partners. So that's another reason why you should not be watching someone's social media. Don't stalk the person that's connected to your masculine. What a waste of precious energy and time for you, Divine Feminine. You want to talk about dirt? Like, look at that brown, kind of shit color brown. It's no good. And so for me, let those things conclude on their own. You don't need to know about it. You don't need to look at it. You don't need to be in the know. Just try to trust more and rely more on source to guide you, instead of allowing your ego and your physical eyes do all the, getting in the way is what I'm getting here. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles here, I believe, is Virgo's energy. So this right here is Saturn, Capricorn, okay, which has come up in the reading earlier too. But Knight of Pentacles, very slow-moving energy, cycles that might be taking a while, which is another reason why you don't want to stop living your life, because if you put your life on hold waiting for this person, then you're just going to end up in that scorned energy that came up earlier, where we're just going to feel upset and pissed that we just wasted so much time. So allow people to learn what they need to learn in other areas of life while the two of you are not together, and just continue to focus on yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. I know people don't like to hear that, but that's what we have. So now we're going to go ahead and get a heart song from this masculine to you, Divine Feminine. So we're going to actually get a couple of cards from this deck here called the Claire Story cards 1 and 2, and then we'll get that song. Okay, so we have Follow Your Heart. Beautiful. We have Autumn, so there could be a specific season tied to your connection or to a message. And we have the Sentimental. Okay, so somebody who is really in their heart space, right? They're really in their heart space, and they're really thinking about things. They're thinking about things on a heart level. So we have two, like, in my heart, following my heart, in my heart, sentimental about you in this connection. So there's a song here that might be tied to a particular season, or it might be that you, whenever you hear this song, it reminds you of the season that the two of you met. It doesn't have to be autumn. I'm just literally getting a season. Like, it could have been a really popular song when you guys met, or it could have just been like this song depicts when you met, and this is very sentimental to this masculine, which is why he's sending it to you. So this is the Heart Songs by Celestial Forecast by Carrie. Okay, so it's from Faith Hill. If I'm not in love with you. So it says, if I don't need your touch, why do I miss you so much tonight? If it's just infatuation, why is my heart aching to hold you forever? Give a part of me I thought I'd never give, or give again, to someone I could lose. Ooh, so this is about losing someone, right? So the masculine's message here, if I'm not in love with you. So I feel like a part of the message here is that this masculine may pretend he's not in love with this feminine. He might actually put a great deal of effort into either making her feel like he's not in love with her. Why would someone do that? When they need you, when they miss you, when they want to hold you, when they want to touch you, when their heart is aching, why would someone do this? And I'm seeing here it's because there's a part of him that he is afraid to lose. So this is a very damaged masculine. And so we have Faith Hill. There could be some kind of a connection with this artist to your connection. Listen to the rest of the song. Obviously, this is just a little clip of some lyrics from it, but this entire song could have so much more in it for you, Divine Feminine. But when he's very sentimental and he's missing you, there's something in this song that he is connecting to you and the connection. And he wants you to follow your heart. He actually wants you to be in your heart space when you listen to this, so that way you'll hear this message coming from his heart. Because a lot of the things that maybe were said to you or told to you in a 3D way have not been the best. And so I feel like you are supposed to connect with your heart and your masculine's higher self. Remember, I was talking about that? When you connect with your masculine's higher self, let it be a beautiful experience. Don't allow that time for, fighting or berating or blaming. Really allow that time to be in that highest vibrational state that it can be. All right, so now we're going to go into the advice from Spirit for this connection, okay? So what is the advice that Spirit has for you and this connection, you guys? So we're going to go into 3 decks for this. We've got the Soul Food Oracle by All Things Intuitive. We're also going to go into my Treasure Trove Tarot Oracle, Professional Archetypes, and the Treasure Trove Tarot. All right, let's go into it. What do we need to know here? What's the advice that we have for this connection? We have brownies. I wish we could go back in time. There's that sentimental energy here that we just got from this masculine. I wish we could go back in time, right? There was something so sweet. We have the Doctor. So this archetype is saying the Doctor is in with your test results. Professional advice is coming. Keep an open mind to what you hear. Ooh, interesting. There could be someone right now in this connection that is undergoing some sort of physical care. They're under the care of a physician, or they've got some sort of issues with their health or body. So it's kind of like, I almost feel like someone is sentimental, thinking about the past when they were like in the greatest shape of their life, when they didn't have these problems. And so they associate you with that part of themselves. That's interesting. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles again. So this is the second time that the Ten of Pentacles has come up in this reading. Okay, so the Doctor obviously is about results, right? It's about test results. It's about keeping an open mind with what you might hear. So maybe it's this reading, for instance, and the messages that came through. Try to keep an open mind. Keep an open mind that perhaps, maybe right now that the separation is for the best for right now. Maybe it will not always be this way. Maybe at some point you guys are actually headed to the Ten of Pentacles, where you guys are going to grow old together, move in together, get that home together, make long-term plans together. That's obviously a possibility. But continue to build your life, build your own Ten of Pentacles. And if the masculine joins you, then that's fantastic. But we can't change things. Whatever has happened so far, let's not waste our time trying to go back and rewrite history. Let's not go back and kind of dwell on everything that's happened. We're either going to make a choice to forgive someone and put our best foot forward, or just leave it all together. Nothing's worse is when you're dealing with someone who, I want to move forward, but then they are just operating in their old self. They're operating in all of that fear and all of those issues that they haven't worked out, or they can't trust you. And so what they do is they sabotage your relationship, so it just can't ever get to a joyful phase. They literally sabotage it every single time. And so I feel like this is where we have to get. Is this person, is this situation something that we can even imagine ourselves with in the long run? Is this someone that we can even have an open mind and trust and take a risk? Or are we just always going to be in this old story in our minds? And every time we try to move forward, we just can never get to that Ten of Pentacles because, someone's sabotaging it on the back end with all their unresolved issues and pain that they really haven't gotten through or even worked on. So I feel like there's a message from Spirit to, the feminine, but also this is for the masculine too, that if we don't work on the past and we don't resolve our past, then we're not going to be able to have a future. So our test results actually rely on this work. It relies on, what we decide to do with this pain. Are we going to let it ruin us forever? Are we going to let it help us and ascend to the next level? Nothing's worse when you know that there's so much potential with someone, but yet they just keep fucking it up every time. It's just a bummer. And then, you just got to be done forever with some people. But we have onion rings fried. I've reached my limit. I was just talking about that. Sometimes you just reach your limit with people where you're just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And I'm not trying to say like you guys are getting to this point with this person, but this just is like, I hate to use that example, beat a dead horse. Like, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you can only try so many times with the same person and continuously get the same result before you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm getting older. I'm wasting so much time. I could have had this already, but I've been waiting for this person to change. Some of you guys might be getting to this point. And, you've got to, of course, listen to your heart, listen to your higher self, connect with your higher power, maybe spend some time in your own energy to figure out whether or not this is something that you want to do. And if it's not, then I feel that you will be delivered the clarity and the strength to be able to move forward and move past the situation. And for others, I feel like you will be given some sort of guidance on how to just maybe focus on yourself and make the best of this while you're in this temporary state with this masculine. Okay? So that's why that says be open-minded, Because a lot of times people are like, this is my person, no matter what, we have to end up together. That's not being open-minded. That's being very codependent on that idea. That's very much being closed off to living your life at all. So we definitely don't want to be in that energy either. The chef. I love it. The chef coming up with all this food. The chef knows what goes into this dish because she is confident in her abilities. You are more than capable in attaining results. Fantastic, you guys. So this is basically saying that you guys are more than capable of being happy in this life. You're more than capable of getting the 10 of Pentacles, whether it's with your masculine, yourself, or maybe even somebody else. You are capable. You're capable of great things. You're capable of a great relationship, okay? So you want to make sure that you are treating yourself as such. Yes, and it really all comes from your own cup. Okay, your own self-worth. When you're feeling fulfilled on your own, you will create fulfilling relationships, whether it's with friends, whether it's with family, romance, this masculine, etc. When you are truly fulfilled on your own, you guys, the results will be amazing. That's what it's telling us here. All right, let's get one last set, and then we're going to close up this reading. We have chicken and waffles, soul food. Love is at the heart of everything that I do. I love this so much as the final message. If you don't love something and you're not really enjoying something and you're not being uplifted and inspired, then why are we even connecting to this situation, right? Why are we even spending time in this energy field? Why are we even spending time watching readings and trying to figure out what's going on? If you don't feel naturally fulfilled and inspired on your own despite what's going on, or maybe you're looking at this connection as a way to kind of help you to build your self-esteem, build your self-worth, figure out who you are, motivate you for great things. If that's not working for you in this way, then I'm kind of getting here that you have your answer. Maybe it is time to step away from this. Maybe this isn't what you think it is. Maybe this is just time. We have the chiropractor. The adjustment from the chiropractor will bring you back into your groove. Refrain from complacency. It may breed boredom. So, like I said, it's not like we're going to be totally motivated and inspired every day of our lives. But if you're not really getting like this hit of amazing love and energy and inspiration from this connection, I'm just seeing here, why even stay connected to it? It might be time to just move on. We have the Page of Wands. Look, Divine Feminine, you're ready to soar. You're ready to soar whether or not you and this masculine are together or come back together. You're ready to soar. You are ascending to the next level. You're taking off like a freaking rocket, okay? You're going to new heights. We have creative projects and a breath of fresh air. Allow this connection, if you can, to inspire you to do amazing and great things, because I truly believe that that is what these counterpart situations are all about. This person rocks your world for a reason. Let them rock your world, though, now, like a freaking rocket ship, and let it take you to new heights. That's what I'm seeing here. Let it create fulfilling positions for you. Let it create a fulfilling life for you. Let it help you to create the life that you've always wanted to. Learn to dance with this person's energy. I always say that. So you guys, that's what I have for you today. I know that some of these messages might have been a little challenging, but I just go with the energy and I go with the flow. So that's what I have for you this week. I hope that it resonated with somebody and was empowering to someone out there. Thanks so much for watching. Definitely make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you guys want to see more of these. I'm going to bring these to the collective once a week in place of the weekly soul connection reading. I just thought that this would be better. If you guys would like to tip me for today's reading or gift me a deck, it would be just so wonderful. I love tarot cards and oracle cards, especially being gifted to me. And I have an Amazon list down below if you guys want to check it out. So anyways, thanks so much, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.